Hey, Tom, Martin, how you guys doing today?
We're doing well. Thanks for
Very
having
well.
us.
Thank you.
Awesome, guys. It's great to have you on the show. There's a couple of things that I want to cover today. I mainly want to talk about your managed sales development team service so that buyers viewing this service in the Cloutos marketplace can decide whether to invite you for an interview about their request or not. There's three questions I want to cover. So let's see, Tom, help me with the first one, which is who is the best fit for this service offer?
So for us, we're looking for organizations that are pre-series to Series B, play in kind of a multi-industry space. Typically, we're working with digital marketing agencies, but we can talk to manufacturing, automotive, and really it's organizations that are either looking to install a sales development outbound funnel in their organization, or they're looking to outsource it and have it managed for outsourced appointment setting. So we'll come in, take on the heavy lifting, or we'll help them formulate an internal team on their roster.
Perfect. Now, you did mention at the beginning that these are ideally pre-Series B companies. Is there also a threshold on the minimum level of maturity that a company should have? Let's say product market validation, or have done sales teams, or have done sales by themselves before, anything like that?
Yeah, typically, they're in, the phase where they might be transitioning from founder-led sales to
Mm.
now employing a player coach or bringing in a team to now take that on because they want to remove themselves from those trenches, right? We deal with that a lot. Companies are like, look, I'm out of it. I need to get back to working on the business, not in it. So they're looking to bring in that sales team motion. They're typically probably employee size of 1 to 200, right? They've got a good team. They have market validation for the most part. Now we can help them. A lot of times, the clients are looking for that proof of concept of, hey, can you go test this market? Maybe they're moving from the UK to the US and they want to see before they invest all this money, do we have something here? So a lot of times they're either conceptualizing what they might have for the market, but preferably, yeah, have some market validation, have a couple closed won deals, kind of know your sales process and your buyer personas, your ICP a little bit. That makes our job a lot easier. However, when you're looking for outsourced, we come in and consult too. So if you don't have those pieces, we will help you find those pieces and work with you to kind of push through that on defining those things and then go test that messaging and that market for you. Either way.
All right, fantastic. Now, when it comes to the region or the location of the target audience that you help your clients reach, is there a particular preference, maybe in country, region, continent, where you guys provide a better service?
We tend to stick in the US and Canada. That tends to be our sweet spot, right? However, as mentioned, we can work with companies that are looking to penetrate, a market in the US from overseas. UK is really
Right.
good. A lot of United Kingdom folks love us. We can work. They get US reps, that can speak for them and help them. But typically, US and Canada is where we're primarily based, but we could take on international just as much.
Perfect. So that leads me now to my second question. Martin, maybe you can assist me with this one, which is walk me a little bit through the components of the service offer for maybe the process, platforms, and people involved in the delivery of the service.
Yeah, for sure. So, with our consulting services in the appointment setting, what we stress to the clients is that we're going to work with you to, like what Tom was saying, right? Is build out the process, the blueprint, the playbooks, the messaging, the cadences, all those things. If you don't already have it, and put that all in a nice documented, formulated process. And then while we're doing that, we're also going to help you in terms of with some training, coaching on how to speak to your prospects and customers, and how to get some of those wins up on the board, so that you've got some momentum. But um, with the appointment setting service, what we're going to include there is you're going to get basically a fully dedicated sales development team, if you will, on your behalf, working on your behalf. And we're going to come in, we're going to work with you on ironing out your data. So, understand who's your best fit customer. What's that look like? And sometimes, folks have that idea, but a lot of the times they're trying to figure out who that is. So we can help with that. And then we can go in and start pulling a list of those folks together for them.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can provide them with a dialer if they don't have a dialer, because technology can be expensive, especially early on. So we can provide the dialer, we can provide the sales engagement, and then we also have the folks who can do the actual activity for those founders or the sales leaders, whoever it is, right, that we're working with, in order to start identifying product market fit or getting those ones up on the board and filling that funnel with we want to focus more on the quality opposed to the quantity, right? It's like if we're just filling up the calendar with a bunch of meetings and opportunities that are never going to show up, never going to convert, well, that's just a waste for everyone, right? And you wasted time, money, resources, all these things. So we want to stress really on the quality over the quantity, and that goes into our discovery when we're meeting with the customer to really understand that. And then we're pushing back weekly. I'm pretty sure it's weekly, Tom, or bi-weekly reports on the campaign of, hey, this is what's working well. This is what we're seeing coming across. These are some of the wins, some of the losses, some call recordings, so that we can start to really drill in and iron out where can we improve on this campaign, and where are some of the weaknesses, so that we can come back to you and be like, okay, maybe there isn't product market fit, or yeah, this is going gangbusters. Let's maybe add another rep and keep on rolling. So those are the components to the offerings.
Fantastic, Martin. I want to double click on a couple of your answers. One thing that stood out was you mentioned your buyers get dedicated SDRs, which is good. I'm assuming there's also other roles assisting in the delivery of the service that are not dedicated to your buyers. Maybe if you can share, do you guys use, I don't know, content writers, data analysts that source the leads, anything like that, aside from the rep that's going to be assigned to their account?
So we tend to keep all that internally. We when it comes to the messaging, building up the playbooks, building the lists, enriching, verifying the data, that's all done internally. We don't outsource that at all. So that's all a part of the service that you get when you sign up.
Fantastic, is included. And the other thing I wanted to double click on was channels. Do you guys specialize in any particular channel? Like, are you exclusive to phone, email, a combination of? Do you use social? Yes, no, help me understand that, please.
Yeah, for sure. So we use very, very phone heavy use of phone, and we also use email. We can train and coach on LinkedIn using Sales Navigator, creating content, that type of stuff. If a client wants to have us do LinkedIn, that I've found in the past gets a bit tricky, because it's the network and the platform, they recognize that person's voice and personality as they post and engage and so forth. So you kind of want to keep that in sync, which is what I like to tell people. But if they want to give us their login, we can jump in and do that for them. And then something that I've been testing out is video prospecting. I know Tom does this a lot for our own outbound is video prospecting, and would like to start rolling that into the service offering soon as well.
Fantastic. So there's multiple channels, phone being your strongest suit, but
Email.
there's also video prospecting that could be leveraged through, as you said, email, LinkedIn, and other platforms in the future.
Yep.
Awesome. That leads me to my third question, or let's say third in category here. What can a client expect in the first 120 days of buying this service? If you guys can walk me a little bit through the onboarding process, meetings, milestones, deliveries, help us understand that, please.
Yeah. So for that one, we usually can get up and live in about 2 weeks of onboarding. And so we'll kick off with a kickoff call, where we dive into buyer persona, ICP, leads, what the process is that you found up until this point working, kind of mimic all of that, right? Then I take that all back to the sales team, Martin and the group, and we'll train them over a few sessions on just role playing. We'll create the call script. We'll create some email sequences. So in about 2 weeks, that's what we're doing, is just getting everything in motion. Now that just depends on the client, how soon that can happen. Just again, we have some clients who, hey, here's 600 leads to work for the month. We have everything set up. Here's an email cadence and here's a call script. Go put the points on the board. Or some who are like, we don't have any of that. We need to build that out. So kind of different journey depending on what phase of the business you're at and where you're at. So first 2 weeks, we're getting that all set up. By week 2, we start the process. We're doing about 3 to 5 hours per day of outreach on your account. That's, again, like Martin said, cold calling. We're running email campaigns. If we need to sprinkle in LinkedIn in there, video outreach, that kind of stuff. So they can expect about 15 to 25 hours a week of outreach being done. We get a weekly report every Friday. So every Friday afternoon, you'll get a kind of a status report on the results, whether, open rates, reply rates, call connects, conversations, the recordings. So by the end of month 1, we should start seeing some success here, right? We should have you up and rolling. All the tech is intertwined, whether, we got to integrate into your tech, we can do that. Or like Martin mentioned, we have our own tech stack that will provide you. So just depends there. And then by the end of month 1, we should have a few points on the board for you, just depending on how fast that ramp up went. We do have an asynchronous meeting once a week. So where I am meeting with you as the consultant side of this, giving you updates, collaborating with you, showing you the messaging we're crafting. Again, if we have to craft the messaging, that impacts pricing, but we'll come in, we'll craft it with you. And again, it's all collaboration. I've seen some organizations where they just craft their messaging and go out on your behalf, and orgs don't even know what's being sent out to their buyers. We don't do that. We want you to clear it. We want to make sure you like the script. Obviously, we have our expertise over 20 years plus together and my team, but we want you involved. It's your ICP, your persona. So we're meeting weekly. You're connected on Slack with us. So we then give a Slack connect. So we're talking constantly. We're onboarding and getting your marketing assets. So are there any one-pagers you're using? Any case studies you can provide us? All of that in kind of that first month. So month 1, a lot of onboarding and a lot of just getting the motion up to speed and kind of into the market. Month 2, now it's all full gas, right? Now at this point, we're just going to go ahead and continue to put the points on the board, giving you status reports, staying in touch with you as to what we're seeing, where the mobile data is, all that, right? Open rates, maybe now start tweaking some of the messaging. We should have a good pulse on, hey, these aren't getting replies. These are, we've tested a few subject lines, things like that. So it's all gas for month 2. By month 3, you should see a repeatable, scalable process in place now that this is working. Now you have your proof of concept. You're starting to see these conversations. You're starting to hear them. You're looking at email replies and you're like, okay, we've got something here, or man, this is just not happening, right? We've had some clients where the market fit wasn't there. And as much as they tried to just give everything to us, they weren't involved in the process or helping us get the intel we needed. So the project failed, right? This is, again, a partnership and a collaboration. The appointment setting space is there's like a 92% failure rate when people outsource. So like 8% succeed. We're trying to change that. And I think the missing ingredient is an actual collaboration and a discussion and a partnership, not set it and forget it and just let us do everything. we have our expertise. We know what we're doing in the space, but it's your baby, your product, your space. We need your collaboration. So by month 3, you're starting now to see those points on the board. We're consistently hitting about 10 to 20 meetings on the month for you, or we're seeing what's broken and where we really need to be tweaking. And then by the end of the 3 months, we typically do a 3-month term, again, just to give it breathing room to really iron out everything, get you onboarded, get the motion going. So by the end of the month 3, you should see success. You should start seeing the points on the board. You should understand, okay, do we stay with the SD lab and let them continue to be our outsource, or do we pivot now and start building out the internal process now that the SD lab's given us the playbook? We craft that, as Martin said, during that 3 months, we're also building out your playbook for you so that when we are done, if we decide to part ways, you have a playbook to go forward with that contains your buyer personas, the messaging that worked, the script we were using, call recordings. So that way, as you hire and scale from there, you have a point of reference, and those people get the same kind of experience and training as what the SDA lab had given during that 3 months. So you can take that with you. And so we're either continuing our relationship in another 3 months and keep rolling, or you're like, okay, Tom, now how can the SDA lab help us hire, start building out our internal process, the tech coming internally, and then we hand off, right? And then they can run their motion now. Or they just stay with us and it's just another 3-month term and we just keep rocking and rolling and continuing to put the points on the board for them. But that's typically what will happen in the 3 months. Within the first 2 weeks of working with us, we're most likely starting to put the points on the board, get the outreach in practice for you. Some people are like, wait, by month 3, we're getting going? And it's like, no, we're going to start immediately and get in there. Just by month 2, end of month 2, beginning month 3, we start to see that success. That's pretty repeatable now. We've kind of got the motion in play for you.
Fantastic. That's a very good explanation, Tom. I think both transparency, this description next to your listing will also help increase that 8% of people that are trying outsource and only they are succeeding. Hopefully we can make that double digits very soon and continue to increase from there. Tom, Martin, is there anything else you would like to share with the audience or the people right now looking at your listing in the CloudTools marketplace?
Just know you have a partner. Right? This, like we talked about, we want to collaborate with you. This isn't a set it and forget it. We've seen a lot of organizations where they're paying their monthly fee and it just sits there until somebody comes in and is like, what are we doing, right? Why are we paying for this and not seeing anything? We care. I know that's cheesy, but we do care. We're trying to make this a collaboration. You're getting that learning curve that could take you 12 months to figure this out because most people are marketers, they're founders, but they don't know sales. They don't even know the SDR role. We can bring that down to a 3-month, right, learning curve and really show you what we know, what's working. We do craft that stuff for you. So I do want to reiterate in the pricing, we can include us doing the stuff for you, like creating the script, creating and crafting a sequence, cadence, and messaging for you, or we can run with what you have. Some people ask us that often of like, hey, do you do that too? We do. We have the tech, we have the experience, we'll do the writing, and then we'll help you. But just want to make it clear, it's a partnership. We're going to be in communication with you every step of the way. And we do have a 30-day cancellation policy. So yes, we ask for a 3-month commit, but you can cancel, each month if obviously we're not working, right? That's okay. You can get out. We just ask for a 3-month commit because we all know sales takes a little bit of time to kind of get the amount of messaging out there. If we run 50 emails and it doesn't respond, it's not enough data just yet, right? We need to really get a couple touches in there. And that's where our expertise comes in. So that's just what I would like to add in here. Martin, anything that I missed or that you would add?
Yeah, I would just add, like, reiterating on Tom earlier, he mentioned that combined we have, I think it's like 25 years of outbound experience. Tom's made like 500,000 cold calls. I've made 250, 300,000 cold calls. I've been doing SDR work, outbound callings since 2010, and it's really evolved. And like Tom said, we want this to be a collaboration and a partnership. And if it's not working, I'm a huge believer in transparency, and we're going to let you know, hey, this isn't working. This is what we're coming across and why we don't think it's working. we're not just going to keep taking your money and just say thanks, have a good day. We want you to be successful as much as we're successful, right? Because like it's a partnership. So that's all I would just kind of strengthen there.
Fantastic, Martin. Appreciate that, Tom, as well. Thank you guys so much for providing more details and clarity about your managed sales teams so that buyers or users of the CloudTest Marketplace viewing this service software can decide whether they want to invite you for an interview about their needs or not. Guys, this was very thorough. Appreciate you taking the time. I'll catch you guys on the next one.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
Appreciate it. Thank you.